What's going on, y'all? My name is Kane, also known as Street the Phantom, also known as Clev Kruger. Usually I'm doing music and making music and stuff and posting music on this channel, but today I want to do one of my vlog videos because I haven't done one of those in a while, and I got some shit that I want to talk about. It's rare I do these vlog videos, but here we go. Before we get into that, listen to if you haven't been listening to the music, listen to the music I've been posting so far this year, man. It's some really great stuff. You don't want to miss out on it. And speaking of the music, I got a new EP coming out before the end of September. It might even be out by next week, but it will definitely be out by the end of September for sure. It's got 4 songs on it. It's controversial, it's crazy, it's dope. You're gonna love it, so be ready for that. But before we even get into the topic of this video, we're going to talk about Charlie Kirk, man. I just want to say rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. You are a great person, Charlie, man. You were such an inspiration. You spreaded your message without violence. You know what I mean? I got a lot of respect for Charlie. I'm wearing this scarf today in solidarity with Charlie Kirk and his family and his legacy because, of course, they did him dirty. They shot him in the neck. So I'm wearing a scarf around my neck to show I'm not with that shit, man. Fuck that shit. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk and fuck all the bullshit. But anyway, let's get into the topic of this video. It's about, what is a dark empath? I am a dark empath. I recently found out I am a dark empath. And, not too much is known about dark empaths because nobody really started talking about dark empaths until the 2020s. So, we're going to get into what is a dark empath and what you should know about dark empaths. What should I say? Dark empaths are people who rank high in both empathy and dark triad traits. I've always been an empathetic child. I've always been a caring, loving child ever since I was young. But as I started to grow, I started to develop also dark triad traits. And those who don't know what the dark triad traits are, they are Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. So I rank high in empathy and love, and I also rank high in the dark triad traits. So I'm high in both of these things, even though these things are kind of like opposites. But I rank high in both of these things, and pretty much what that means is I pick and choose who I share empathy with. I have the ability to feel empathy, but I pick and choose who I share this empathy with and how far I take the empathy. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. How this pretty much started. I've always been an empath ever since I was a young child. I've always been a loving, caring child. I always wanted to do the right thing. I always wanted to be a good kid. I wanted to get along with people. I wanted to make friends. But when I was in school, I used to get bullied a lot. People thought I was different. And not only was I bullied in school, my dad was also kind of a bully. He was never really all that nice to me. He was an alcoholic. He would take a lot of his anger out on me. So and I was reading something recently that if kids, if your parents take out their problems on you as a child, it's going to affect you into adulthood. So maybe that is a part of why I became, a dark empath. But, so a lot of it came from things that happened in my childhood. I would say the bullying in the school, my dad, throwing me under the bus and treating me in ways I didn't deserve to be treated. That contributed to it. But I want to give you guys like examples of what a dark empath is and what a dark empath does. Because for those of you who don't know, you know what I mean, you're looking at one right now, so I'm going to tell you like what it's like dealing with a dark empath. Let me give you an example. So earlier this year, actually this summer, I worked for about 3 months at this it's kind of like a place where mentally disabled people live. I was working there. I was working with disabled people. I was helping them, and saying, I didn't even realize what I was getting myself into with that. If I knew what they didn't pay me enough to do what I was doing. Let me just say that. If I knew what I was getting myself into, I probably wouldn't have took the job. But I stayed there for about maybe 3 months, and it was all right, I guess. I made a little bit. I did it for the money. I wasn't in love with the job. I did it for the money, and right now I'm in the process of starting a new job. But yeah, like I said, I did it for the money, but when I was working there, I noticed I was working with a whole bunch of, like, African people, like, mostly, like, African black people, like, people straight from Africa. There was maybe, like, 2, 3 non-black African people working there. You know what I mean? So, like, I remember there was one woman I worked there on the weekends. She was, like, a white woman. She was older. She's older than my mom, but she still looked good. She was a white woman with a nice booty on her. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's not about the video. But anyway, yeah. So I was working at this place. It was like for mentally disabled people, and it's mostly like African people working there. So, you know, I'm not the hugest fan of African people, but not to sound racist, but I'm not a huge fan of them. But I put this shit aside. I'm like, I'm working a job. I'm making some money. I'll do my best to get along with them, whatever. And then, but one of the Africans there, he tries to, one day he tries to get tough with me. He starts trying to talk to me like he's a bully, like I'm a bitch or something. And then we kind of got into a little bit of a debate, or maybe even an argument. And we were kind of arguing back and forth. And, you know, I'm the new guy at the job, so I'm not trying to look like an asshole. I'm trying to, you know, keep my cool during it. But like, I remember when I got out of work that day after having the argument with him, I was just like, damn, I'm gonna need to school this dude tomorrow. Like, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I'm the new guy. I didn't think they would come for me like that. But I was like, yo, when I come in tomorrow, I gotta school him and let him know, yo, don't come at me like that, dog. You know, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I was like, but anyway, yeah. So I was, you know, I came in the next day and I talked to him, and I was just pretty much like, yo, man, I did not appreciate the way you came at me the other day, dog. I really didn't appreciate that. I'm letting you know I'm not comfortable with that. I know I'm the new guy here or whatever, but, you know, don't come at me like that, pretty much. You know, he was trying to make me do the dirty work or whatever, because I'm the new guy. That's what they'll do. They'll make the new guy at the job do the dirty work, and I wasn't having it. So I talked to him. I was like, yo, bro, I really don't appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you probably used to, you know, talking to dudes like that or whatever, but I'm a street cat, bro. I'm not going to tolerate it. You know what I mean? But he was all like, nah, man, you just like, come on, man, I like you, man, you talk like a white dude, man, you talk like a white dude, you remind me of a white dude or whatever. And I'm like, I guess speaking in proper English is talking like a white man. I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it, right? I mean, if I talk like a white guy, then I'm not really offended by it. But pretty much what the guy was trying to say is like, come on, man, he's like, I'm your friend or whatever. But the thing is, with black people, I'm not friends with black people. There's black people I like. There's black people I respect. There's black people I can tolerate. The thing is, I'm not your friend, bro. I'm working a job with you. It's all for the money. It's not for your friendship. I don't want to, if we weren't working this job together right now, bro, I'd have nothing to do with you. I wouldn't be speaking to you. I'm here making money. I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to be your partner. I don't hate you. You know, do whatever you want. You know, you're African. You live an African lifestyle. I'm an American. I don't live an African lifestyle. I date white women. I live an American lifestyle. I don't have any interest in living an African lifestyle. You know what I mean? And I don't hate you, man. I'm be cool with you. I'm gonna talk to you sensibly. But don't for a second think I am your friend. I care nothing about you. I don't give a fuck about you. Do you understand? So basically, what I'm saying is, I am a dark empath, and I do have the ability to feel empathy for other people. I do, 100%. But it doesn't mean that I really care about you. Do you know what I mean? Just because you show empathy doesn't mean you feel their feelings emotionally. I think mentally, emotionally, me and this guy, we're two different worlds apart, even though he thinks that we're like best buddies, but we're not. You know what I mean? And I don't hate the guy. I have, you know, enough respect to him and his family, whatever he does, but it's got nothing to do with me. I'm looking out for me and myself. I am a dark empath. I have the ability to feel empathy. But don't get it twisted. I'm not your boy. I'm not your friend. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in a black lifestyle. I'm not interested in black woman. I date white woman. That's what I like. Maybe I'm not politically correct. Maybe I'm not politically correct. But you know what I am? I'm a dark empath. And watch out for me.